Hello and welcome to Sound Check. Yes, we are good to go. Fantastic. Right. I've been busy on Blender. It's about time. I literally had a bit of a chill. I've accidentally not put it in, and it's a little bit bigger than I actually anticipated. Again, this is something I keep saying. When you're in an i3D, you've not got really any sort of like form of reference, so it's actually really, really large. And yes, it needs lifting up slightly. It will not come in the ground like that. It's just that is the position relative to the ground of the model. But I don't like the graphics. I thought I was sick to death. I thought just make a new one. But when I say that, this has taken me hours, and this is what I was saying the other day about making mods. I thought I'd wanted to do something a bit different, and I actually quite like the extrusions. I thought, I know, and yeah, I think that's quite nice. So the tyres are all right. It's got a short drawbar, which is okay, but it's a monster. It is. I thought it was quite small, but like when I actually saw it, if we sort of like, no, I don't want to buy it, but it is a monster, and it does work, but it's much bigger than it actually says it is. Yeah, it says it can only hold like, I think it's probably one of the biggest tankers known to man. It really is huge and would probably be bigger than anything I've made to date, but I want it to be smaller. But yeah, and it's a bit blown out, the graphics. So I've gone back and I've done another one, which I'm more pleased with, but I forgot to put it in. So I've just put it in, but you can't see it because you put it in after the game's running, and although it's there, it doesn't see it. It scans your mod folder as you start up. Sorry for the useless information. I'm very good at doing things like that. I am. Right, so where are we? September, year 2. I believe we have... There's no point in me cutting the grass because we've already filled, and we're not doing anything with it. So these are the last 2 things we've got to do. These 2 tomorrow morning. Yeah, so the grass is sort of done. There's nothing more. I know it's not me being lazy, but we've already like filled up, and we're not actually doing anything with it. Yeah, if we were staying longer, it would be a lot. It would be really worthwhile as actually doing this. So we have got oats, haven't we? We could, because I'd like to like at least go out with a bang, is at least do the mineral feed with it, which is that very one by a sheer fluke. So we do need to buy some stones. I will allow us to buy some stones. I always do. I mean, yeah, I don't mind one input, because it is almost impossible for us to actually like get them all for. And I recognise that. I'm not ever worried about that to that extent. So we want a trailer. I think actually someone is on that trailer already. I would say it's you. I would say. And I would be totally wrong. But we do not want that. A beautiful tractor charging across the map, yeah, to the shop, because it's a little bit slow for that kind of job. Or as much as I love it, 19 miles an hour is a little bit slow to be charging across the map. Whereas this is a little bit faster. Yeah, definitely. Being as we insist upon trying to do the realism and like going to the store, which I don't mind. I always like to play the survival maps a little bit differently to what I would like normally play maps. No, it's down there. We can go down there. I know we can go the long way, but I'm not sort of feeling it. So yeah, so I think this is about probably session 8, and I think this to me is sort of, we're about there now. Yeah, I just wanted to do FarmerBOB proud, because this is getting a bit of a slaughter, and although we can see there are errors, none of them are particularly, you know, like so awful that you cannot play the game. And again, an early adopter should truthfully expect, you know, that there will be errors. There will be. Oxygen David had errors on day 1 on, you know, and it's true. Yeah, no, Calmston, before it was called Oakbridge, when it was Calms in FS25, it did have errors. So what I'm saying, if the Grandmaster has errors on his map, then surely you would expect that mere mortals would certainly have errors on their maps too. You would expect that, really. So to be slaughtering someone, as people are, really, when it's a beautiful map, there are a lot of things that FarmerBOB's done that other people haven't done, that are really far more important than the sort of like fact that the fields, the fertilizer's not showing properly. it still all grows. Where it is important, you can still carry on with this. Yeah, I mean, Wernlau, that was another your mod map that was like wrong. I loved that. There was just something special about that to me. Garth Farms was a good one. There was very little I found wrong with Garth Farms at all. Only the fact that, and it's not a mistake that the mod maker made. It's a fault with FS25 is the fact that really to get the most out of any match you need round corners, which hey presto, FarmerBOB has done, and that's what I'm saying. You really the map corners needs to be round to work the best with the FS25 workers. It really is as simple as that. It's something that I on Garth Farm, strangely enough, because there was very little headlands, and the corners were all square, and the workers were going blah 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 blah. So I said, well, let's see if we can like fit. Oh, I knew I'd missed some. So the bits we saw, the blue bits, were the bits that I was a little bit over generous with, actually. So yeah, that's the bit we saw, which is really weird, but nevertheless, at least we can see actually what was wrong. So then this is the grass that has now completely grown. A big field though, really big. I really was quite taken aback by the scale of this field. It's certainly in no way, shape or form small. No, it isn't. I've got a lot more respect than I had for it before I did it, where I really, really underestimated the size of that. Right, okay then, so let's dump this. Yeah, so I expect to see some new water tankers. It's, yeah, I'm just trying to get the most of modding now, as in actually modeling properly, like I began to do on these. Again, I'm not saying these are finished. The more I muck around with Blender, the more I do like this, although it's sort of got a damp, glossy look. The actual, that doesn't bring it out at its best. It sometimes looks better. Maybe it's a bit too bright, but you can see the glossy sheen on it. That's not so good. Yeah, that's not as good as I'd like it to be. And this is what I'm saying. The wood I actually like the wood effect. That's quite punchy, but yeah, some of the others are a bit too. And this is what I'm saying. You get a feel for things the more you muck around with things, and you like think, yeah, it's not quite right. And then you go back to the drawing board and you try again. I've done it with one of my favourite sort of images. Doesn't look nice when it's actually on the actual machine. So I'd think, oh, that's really strange because that's my favourite one. Yeah, this on here it looks really nice, but on that it doesn't. It's all blown out and bad. In fact, I think I can show you that one. Yeah, that is the one we saw, and you can see it's like, yeah, it's like blown out, and you can zoom in and out. It's Giant's Engine. I've got to be honest, because if you look in Blender, it looks beautiful, but Giant's Engine does something strange. It's the same file, but it does makes it all look warped and grainy, like it's blown out. But it's a bit of a shame because the actual picture's gorgeous and the chrome's really nice, but just doesn't do any justice. So it's one of those things. It is. Right, anyway, enough of this. Right, let's crack on. It is September. We are at 17:31. I believe we will have done everything in here. We have indeed. So let's go through till tomorrow morning, till 9 o'clock, and I believe we may. It looked very much like to me that everything was going to be ready in the morning. Yeah, so we will get the last of our crop in, and then we will. Yeah, we sort of got to the end of this very short journey, but we've been busy. And the other thing is, I'm quite sure if now that we have we can sort of see that the value of these is rather formidable. Again, over the year, I mean, it's a year's worth of this, and obviously this was my maiden voyage of the poplars that I made myself, and it is dealing with them. They literally are going into that heavily. The guar glue I've also changed based upon like what I've seen before. I've still done the 3 on this one, but that is now much more powerful than it has been. Still not. Oh no, it is. I don't know if you remember early on that it was not doing some of these in the middle. It was not capable of actually doing those or keeping up with them. Well, it is now, which does, oh, now it does sort of show that actually it's not fast enough to keep up with the wood chips. We've got a lot of wood chips left over, which does sort of show that the super popular greenhouse, again, this is what I'm saying, it's, you can probably maybe go for just a bionic, and that might be enough for this particular one. I'd like to tweak them though, that the super chipping could keep up with the super popular. That's my sort of goal. Not to like make this better, but make that worse. Yeah, and then like the bionic, basically a balancing will occur, and that's the whole point. You need to have a balance. So yeah, but this is actually doing far better than it used to do. It very, very infrequently did these three here. It just didn't have enough glue to keep going. So the glue's almost keeping up, but yeah, it is definitely. But like these are not. Yeah, and you can see that obviously these got way ahead and were almost all of the time doing, and then these have caught up in the last, since I tweaked it a little bit to try to get it right. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. That's what it's, to me as a modder, this is what it's all about. It's like you getting these things. I'm hoping that one day Giants will say yes to some of these mods, because especially the factories, they are really, really good, I think, personally. I'm very, very balanced, but there's a couple of things I have got to do, and that's to, yeah, no, I won't bore you with the details. Yes, let's just, so it is October morning. I would imagine if we look at this now, we should see, it might be November though. I'm saying this, but it did look like it. No, it's ready to rock and roll. Okay, smashing. So we've already got it, haven't we? The corn header. So the soybeans we can crack on with straight away. You say that. Actually, we can't. No, we need to. Oh, actually, somebody forgot to send the header back. So, hey presto, we appear to have one already. Someone has forgotten to send it back. What a shock. For once, it actually worked out all right. It's true. My bad. I am a terror. I am. I know I am all my life. Okay. Yeah, I am really am a terror. So let's set this going on field 43. And whilst this is doing this, the other thing is, obviously there are certain things like grabbing the straw in that sort of have no bearing on the Let's Play, that would have a bearing on the Let's Play if we were doing this properly. So I'm not going to bother with the straw. It has no material value unless I was doing the straw, and I'm not going to bring a production this late into the Let's Play. Yeah, I mean, I've done what I wanted to do, which was to sort of show in a much better way than just doing, you know, like a mod review, that we actually did do that. And we would, I feel exonerated in the fact that we have done that, because it did sort of show up, because I was obviously saying, oh, I can't see why people are having to go at FarmerBOB and all the rest of it. Why is that not showing me the course though? Why is that not showing me? No. You're going back to the other course. What are you doing? It'll be me chatting. I know it will. But we set the course with this. You don't have to load a course if you create the course with it. Okay. Let's do this again and just see. Did I choose the wrong field? I didn't click on it. So it is user error, as it frequently is with my day job as well. Right, so then 3, none, and generate. Now we need to delete this course, which isn't that one actually at all. Change mode and delete entry. Yes, because someone was a wally. Absolutely yes, this is totally true. I take it on the chin. Right, now I think we have to go out and then back in again, and it has got it now, so we can save the course in field 43. 16 meters. I'll just check. I'm sure we have actually told this to self-unload. I don't think I did it on camera. Yes, it is Brilliant. So let's set that going at first waypoint. We don't want to see anything. And go. Let's go grab that trailer. And I feel a time that's coming on while I go and fetch the other header, which we're going to need for the very, very, very much smaller fields. Oh, my life is coming. Oh, my, where are you going? Oh, it's coming down here just a little. So, yeah, I know that I was that object. It should be all right now, though. Oh, my life. Where are you going? It was only a bit down this field. Right, okay. Well, that should... I think he's happy now, or she, for that matter. Right, anyway, time-lapse time. Yes, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Especially as we're not grabbing the straw, so not bad. It was a big field, it really was. I thought I was going to get to the end of it. It was a good. I did this over 2 recording sessions because it was Friday night, and I come home from another. I can't cope with this giant field tonight. I thought you'll be alright. And then I went on to Seton. Beautiful man, gorgeous. Obviously, I've got this session to do, and then there will be another session after this where we go to the end of the year, I would say, and see how well we do. Or basically, yeah, it's true. This is a bit of a strange one because with it being a greenhouse, you have to stop the greenhouse, otherwise it's just going to go on forever. And that's the difference. We really just need to see how well we did would be to stop it all now and see what we've got left in when it's used, what it's actually got in storage now. Yeah, if we actually look at, while that's unloading, if we look at the super popular greenhouse, no, actually the super chipping factory, it's got to get rid of 56,000 litres of wood chips. So really now we need to switch this off. Yeah. Because otherwise it's going to go on forever, and we want to see how well we did based upon a particular time. So super mini self-sufficiency we'll get, obviously we've not finished yet. He says that I was getting all excited then. I think haven't you got some hours to do? This shouldn't take terribly long though. Now we've got the header poised for action. Do we go into, this is a big header. This is not going to take terribly long to actually do this, so it's half fallen off. Been busy with my tankers this morning, but I thought I've got to finish this. And then I'm going to do a little bit of testing to make sure they're all good. I've done all I can show you now. They should be all right. They should be. They may be too low. I'm still not sure if I fixed that yet. But yeah, this is what I've been working on this morning. I've decided on the design that I'm going for. So the small Magna Piscina, which is the small general tanker. And, oh, okay. So something's not quite right. Oh, wow, is that showing so large? I might have the wrong i3D. Yeah, it's supposed to be smaller than that. This is the medium. Why are they all like that? What have I done wrong? I'd be weight and things like that, yeah. But the modelling looks good. It does, actually. I'm quite pleased with the modelling, but definitely it's not quite as it should be at this precise moment. And this is the monster. Is the pricing right? No, that's surely going to be, this is a beast. This is a beast. It is huge. It's probably the largest tanker that I've ever seen in the game, to be honest. So yes, none of them are working. I need to check why that is, because I had them working yesterday. Right, okay. Well, that's the modelling's okay. Right, anyway. Let's get this show mode. It's not going to take too long to do this. We'll just chat. It's true, it's not going to take too long for this monster header. You can see though that this is, even for this beast, is on the edge of what is management for header. It really is just not, is it 7 miles an hour or is it, I'm not sure the speed this can go. It's definitely not powering through like it's a breeze. Let's just put it like that. So it's got a small, medium and large, and the modelling looks good, which is why I settled on that one. It's the one that I really like. It doesn't seem to, it looks perfect in Blender, but when it comes over to the Giant's engine, it molds it, makes a right mess of it, so even though it shouldn't, because what you see in Blender is what you really should get in the same quality as you get in the Giant's engine, but for some reason it doesn't do that, so sometimes you have to compromise for something that's not quite what you want, but it is still nevertheless good. So yeah, I'm doing my artistic stage of it now, literally trying to make things look pretty, just it's just trying things out. It's one of those things as a model, that's it. Not sure Giants improve, but you know, it is an artistic endeavour more than anything, so I'm going to let the inner artist out a little bit, is what I'm thinking. And it's hopefully going to teach me a few tricks. Yeah, I am learning. I have said this, obviously if there were prizes for giving the ripping i3Ds to pieces and like restarting again, I think I'd probably win them. There are some very strange things that happen though in the i3D that strange consequences of your actions that you really don't expect that they do. I have no idea. But then Lambo also says that all the time. You can break them and they are a bit volatile. So yes, we are nearly at the end of this short run, definitely. In fact, I didn't really want to in a way, but FarmerBOB, he stuck his neck out for me, and the busy man that he is. And again, it is true, although there are a few errors on there, there's also a lot of things that sort of, if you look closely, that speak of how highly skilled FarmerBOB is. The AI splines, for one. The fact that you've got custom fields on the survival map is, I think, unheard of. I don't think anybody ever carves fields out in the survival map for you. You got slaughtered for the one that was just a standard survival map, so it gave you fields, and you got slaughtered for that as well. I'm like, there's no pleasing people. Of course, I can admittedly see there's something not quite right with the fields, and I'm sure FarmerBOB will fix that. It literally, I mean, I adopted this on day of release. Being an early, again, I know I'm repeating myself around, but being an early adopter frequently, often going on maps on the day of release, which is why I do that a lot. You know, a lot of people, other than the mod review, just to drive around the map, doesn't really improve a lot, which is why I always say it's a faulty premise, the entire concept of a map tour as it is. It just is to sort of show you what you can expect, but it doesn't show you what you can expect really, because there will be flaws that are quite frequently not highlighted, as we found on this cursory glance. I can wander all over the map and everything else fine, but what about under the hood? That's what's important. Things that go wrong, fields that don't work, all of those type of things. They're what you really want to know, like which fields to avoid because it's not quite ready yet, or this, don't do this crop because that's broken, or, you know, all of those type of things is what you really want to know, what I really want to know. So you only ever can go on, you know, how you look at things, unless someone tells you that that's how they look at things, and you look at it in a different way. Yeah, definitely proved an awful lot that certain things are not quite right, but it's not stopped us doing anything. It's still, the game functions, just something's not quite right with the fertilising state is all that we're sort of somewhat not quite right on that. Again, it's got to be something FarmerBOB's done. It's got to, because on every other now, obviously it's okay. It could be something he's done that doesn't play nicely with the modern, the last update, which is a frequent thing now for modders, where they have to keep tweaking things over and over again. Again, another thing that the modders have really got to work for their money. It's true, it's true. Time and time again. When it gets broken by another update, they've got to fix it again. And another update, and they've got to fix it again. You get the picture. Absolutely. That is. So in some ways, it's true in a way. I think if I had got all of those mods, then about 14 mods I released very early on that I did, and they were not that bad. They were quite basic, but then. And the modelling was very simple. They were just like a converted silo, and a little bit more basic than Overtime's farm supply function, as you've all seen, probably anyway. But my first original ones were just a silo with a door in them, really, and it was done more for the recipes, but again, they were thrown out. Production silos thrown out, no explanations to why. So it is what it is. Yeah. I am also taking into consideration what JM Gaming said, but the thing is, I want mine to be the model that they are. I don't want them to be, they're not supposed to be a fancy building. That's the entire Over did the granary set in FS25, and it's a little bit like that. It's a converted silo. As easily, like a second-hand one, it's reclaimed materials. The owners just soups it up, does it, puts good machinery in it, and gives it you to really put down price. That's the entire pre-marks. And if I'm to play realistically based upon that pre-marks, then my models aren't supposed to be complicated or fantastic. And that's my point. With Shed likewise, the modelling on that, I can see why JM Gaming said what he said, although the scaling I did for my thing, it looks awful now because I've taken the scaling off, because JM Gaming said they look worse now. So in some ways I wish I had just kept things as they are. I'm going to have a good go at them, but scaling is still a good, important way to shrink models or the picture of something to make it appear better on the model. So it's a valid way of doing things. It's just not the way the JM Gaming would do it as well. I appreciate that, but lots of modelers do that, because it wouldn't be an option in GIMP if it wasn't, like an option. So this is out, so we don't really need to worry about this one. So that is the last one. Let's stick everything away in the. Stick this direct need to shift everything out of the way a little bit. Admittedly it's high, but should be able to just get past that, I'd say, just about. Okay. That's what I was aiming for. Apologies for the going through the model. I should have done it, I remember. Why did I actually do it in that, and then I've got to tell that to move that to that, when I could have put it just in that? Seriously, talk about make yourself extra work. Right, so then let's grab the soy does want to go into there. We need to, you will do for this. So we never did use that the underbelly lorry, but we could have done. I will use it going forward, because it's now not a waste of time. As far as I'm concerned, I've always sort of thought it was quite a waste of time. Got to fix me weights as well, so I'm going to have a go at that later too. Now if you look at this closely, the rocks are just too big now. They should be much, much smaller, but I think they were always a bit like that, so I need to again, shrink that so the rocks look more the right size for that actual thing. But I quite like them. Just a little bit too big. These are good. Again, everything's got a range. That's the ideal range to look at it. Now that is not bad at all, but if you get really close, it then makes it look a bit weird. So again, everything's got a viewing angle that's the ideal range where something looks at its best. And then, like, if you're too close, it looks a bit awful. Yeah, I've seen other content creators when they highlight a map and they'll go and they'll show you that it's the new type of let's just try this. So what's I doing? I was going to grab the trailer. Yeah, there's obviously a much more modern way of doing texturing in comparison to the old way of doing things. Now, I'm not a good enough modder to know what they're on about. Yeah, I have no idea what they're on about with that, but all I know is I can see what they're on about when people talk about it on a map, because there is an old where people, I think it's just resolution, if I'm honest. I think it's just the resolution that the older ones were done in a much lower resolution. Oh, wow, it does not like turning. Oh, it does not like turning at all. Yeah, obviously the modern resolutions are much better than the old ones, and you can tell if someone's just converted it to straight to FS25 and they're still using the original resolutions, because you will tell. So this wants to go just in the normal side, because this is just going to be about 28 grand's worth of profit, which for us is sort of small change, admittedly, but there was a time. It does emphasise as well how poor crop is in comparison to productions, which I have embraced now for an awful long time. It is true. It is, unless you're going to use soybeans for a specific purpose, really, even as the best crop in the game, well, it is the best. I mean, obviously they're all much of a muchness. Giants have done it so that they're all exactly the same, really, because like one's got more yield and one you get, like a few get more yield but the price is lower, so therefore it all works out exactly the same in the end. But soybean pound for pound and for lugging is the best, because you don't lug a lot and you get a lot. But whereas like sugar beets, you get a lot, it's a poor price, but because you lug in so much, you will make a lot of money. So it's one of them things, but it all boils down to Giants, I think, trying to having the master plan of everything being the same. So let's have a look how we did, and let's also tell the huge corner production to send the soybeans over to. No, we're not. We don't need it to do. We want the sunflowers to be sent over. That's what we did wrong. Yeah, that's what we shouldn't have stuck in. We should have done it direct, because I made myself extra work by doing this, really. But it's not like it's going to kill me, but you know what I mean. It's not efficient, as I would often go on about. Right, distribute. So now we need to go to the super mini self-sufficiency, and we need to switch the biodiesel on the right one. That was the reason we were doing, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. We were sort of just gonna, if we were, so sunflowers digestate. Should have digestate. Have we not got any digestate? Yeah, just a little. So why material's missing? Oh, yeah, they've not come across yet, you Wally. I was going to say. Right, it will do in 1 minute. We can fix this. Yeah. And then that should not be an issue anymore at all, because it's going to be there. Or it should be, although it's a bit nasty to expect. 2,000 litres have come across. More will come across. I mean, let's be honest, the workers were good to get 2,000 litres of sunflowers whizzed across without us even seeing it like that. No, it is amazing. So yes, fantastic. Yeah, I'm itching now to sort out my tankers, but yeah, at least we've done this. We're up to 451,000. That is a point. What is in the sales this morning? Let's not forget. Ooh, yeah, because we're still in business. So, I mean, what I mean is we still can do whatever we've got to do right now, which is including selling bits and bobs. Yeah, to make cash. Until we are finished, it's all valid and needs doing the same as it ever has been all the way through the Let's Play, or else how can you like carry on and say it's fair? And that too, why not? It's in the 30 grand. That's what I'm saying. These rules are sort of to be, and I think actually we've left the truck down there, aren't we, deliberately for doing that kind of job. And we will also ask the store to pick up the header that is going to charge, could be costing me again when I've already like been walloped for it a few times. So let's like learn our lesson and return that. Did we buy it? Oh, I'd forgotten that we'd done that, to be honest. I had, yeah, no, truly had. That's totally flummoxed me. Did I buy it by mistake then? I'm not sure. Yeah, no, that's a bit of a, that's flummoxed me a bit. I thought maybe I did it by mistake, because unless we did, I'll have to look at the last session. Yeah, it's definitely a blur. So we never got our the stone picker. I could have done with that on a contract. Yeah, I've done on prawn setting. I've done a small run. It's not quite finished yet, but again, it's nearly finished. So sell that, yes. And it's yeah, one of my. It probably is my hardest challenge on FS25 today. It's definitely not my one on FS22, but it was easier to make money on FS22. It really is quite a bit more tricky on FS25, even though I sometimes do think that I make it look a little easy, because you do it so often and you get used to the weight of hard economy, and sometimes you like think, yeah, I think people think I'm like, this is dead easy, you know, like, but it's not easy on hard economy. But sometimes you just get on with it, and like it looks like everything falls into place and all the rest of it. That's because you've done it so often that you know the little pitfalls. I mean, I'm not like, so I'm not, you know, no, I'm not bigging myself up. I'm just saying, but I've said it myself. Sometimes I look and I think, you really do make that look easy, and it really isn't. You know, it's sort of, but that's because I'm not taking notice anymore of like the pain that you used to get, that worry that when on hard economy to begin with, where you like thinking, oh my life, this is so hard. You get used to the nasty prices and they become the normal price, and then you just get used to it. The horribleness just becomes the norm. It's true. You go on normal economy and you think it's like your birthday, and everything's like, the streets are paved with gold. It's like fantastic. Ooh, now that was a good little, that did us proud. It did. Whoa, I'm well pleased with that. Right, so then I'm going to leave it here, definitely. So yes, next session we shall crack on and get a bit more. No, let's go through a little bit further. Let's go through till 1 o'clock. Oh, let's do it for, being as I've like gone so far past it, it's like unbelievable. Let's just go to 4 o'clock now and like do everything. So we probably lost a couple of items because of Mr. Trigger Happy here. Soluble fertilizer. Oh, so he actually sells it's part of the actual thing. Now I've had this. In fact, this is my lead tractor on Prawn Setting. It is. This is the one that I actually got in the sales. It is fantastic. I love it. Yeah, it's we got the 203 horsepower version. That is just so unbelievable. This is going to be really a good, and it's also got a front loader attached too. So it really is good. It's not a powerhouse. It's a bit slow, but it's an old tractor. What do you expect for like 41,000? Yeah, in the sales, it is an amazing, good, solid workhorse. Again, this is, and it's not noisy. I used to love Mr. Noisy, as I used to call him, the Fiat Agri, but he was just so noisy. Not a good, but this Black Sheep Modding has like aimed his sights for that kind of tractor. I can see it, and it is really good. Aren't we buying it? Yeah, no, we remember we're selling it, so it's a shame, but we don't need anything else. We're just like literally buying and selling at the minute, but you will see this definitely because is there only, I think there was more, wasn't there? No, that was it. There's nothing in our price range, so I'm quite pleased with that. It's just so we've stopped our greenhouse now so that we can see when, let's go through till the morning and just see how much 56,000 litres we've got, see how much that goes down overnight, just to see, give me a gauge of how many months we're going to go through to actually get that processed, because that's what we're waiting for really now. Fantastic. So then just check to see it's 56,000. And am I right, or has it gone up, or is it? I mean, that should now be stopped. So we should now be only 56. Oh wow, it's done quite a bit over like night. So how are we doing on the guar beans? Well, those we do still need. It's yeah, the newer doesn't go down very fast. So let's go through till the morning, and it is actually 9 o'clock. And everything, including the sunflowers. Oh, now you're sure? Did you put the stones in? Ooh, this is true. I think we're going to be here for a couple of months, but it is true. Income, not high production costs, so that's not too terrible. Let's look at yeah. This is what I'm really interested in. So the super self, we have. The stones are still there, so I think we missed something. What did we probably not switch it? No, I think it's done it. No, I think it actually did it okay. Yeah, so sunflowers. We did. The oats are literally gone, so that is a switch it off, basically. You did it for once. You didn't actually. The biodiesel is, it's all but done, isn't it, really? So diesel for 142,000 litres. Huh? We never had 70 odd tons of sunflowers. Huh? How on earth can it have done that? Oh, do you know, the productions are just crazy. I mean, that is about right, but that 142,000 litres. Let me just look at that. Yeah, it's only thousands. It's 1,000 to 1,000, so it just doubles it, which is not a terrible mix, really. I have no idea why it's like made a stupendous amount of, as if we've got like hundreds of, did we leave sunflowers in there or something from another year, or no? That's crazy. I've no idea. I've got nothing that I can possibly say. You've seen me do everything that I've done. There's no way that should be 142,000 litres. And it's only the mathematics of the game that's totally wrong, so I have no idea how that actually did that at all. But I have seen this a few times with things that make no sense at all. The same as dairies that do about a tenth of like the cycles. The mathematics are right, but the production produces like a tenth of like what the maths say, so I have no idea what that's about. So it looks like this needs tweaking down, because this is like doing something so bizarre that it's making an insane amount, even though the maths are completely different to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that can do 560,000 litres in a night, which is insane anyway. That needs knocking down. No, it is a super. Yeah, but no, it is true. Now the self-sufficiency and the mini self-sufficiency, they are the one. These are like beasts. These are the one thing that I have just left based upon what Omatani used to do, and I just went with the same things. So it is insane. It really is, and it can do that much. It is really powerful. The equipment in it is beast-like. So I've got to be honest, I've no idea how it got to that, but the maths is right, but we didn't have that amount of sunflowers, so I don't understand why at all that has like amplified the amount of sunflowers. It's about, no, it's not even done the digestic. We only had 200,000, it's done 135,000. I just can't see how that is doing that. It's 1,000 plus 1,000 equals 2,000. It's not rocket science, but you'd think it was. So how many? Oh, my life. So 20 odd. All we need to do then is to go down one more. In fact, we could probably. We'll do it next session. I'm not going to rush it. I'd sooner do a good, honest session than like try and rush it now. I would. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.